heck is that?
Hi, my name is Linda. I live in Northeast PA in the United States. It's a beautiful place. We have the 4 seasons here. We live in the mountains. We live in a development about 4 miles away from where I lived growing up. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter. I'm very blessed for what I have. I believe that we have 2 things that are very precious. We have a story and we have a dream. I just want to tell you a little bit about my story. I grew up about 4 miles from here on a mountain in a very dingy house. But I had a beautiful view from my bedroom. It was very quiet there. Was filled with a lot of turmoil growing up. I lived with my mom, dad, my brother, and my sister. My father was a very hard person. He was very angry. He was very anxious. He was very suspicious of everything. He was overprotective. He was abusive to both my mother and I. And yet I know that in his heart he loved us. And I know he's not a bad person. He's a person that was hurt, that hurts other people. And I know that's how it goes. When I was about 3, we had gone to the store and I didn't know anything about stealing or money or how anything worked. I think I may have asked my grandmother if I could get this gum or this candy, and they wouldn't let me, so I took it. I went home, and my father found me with it. And he had a big stick that he kept in the corner, kind of on the molding on the wall. And it was always there so we could see it, so we knew that, if we got out of line, and sometimes we weren't even really out of line, it was just out of his own frustration or out of his own perspective on what happened, and maybe it didn't really happen that way. He didn't ask many questions. He just kind of got the stick and hit us with it. I got beat that day, and he put me in my room. I learned everything like that. I learned how to walk the line, and I was very subservial, which means basically you are under the thumb of someone. In that case, it was my father. When I grew up, it later became another man in my life. As for my mother, he couldn't beat her that way, so, he yelled at her a lot, slapped her around a little bit.
My name is Chris. I was born in a small coal mining town in Northeast Pennsylvania. My childhood was it was good. I had a great childhood. I had 3 sisters and a brother. We were all close. My father worked and my mother stayed at home and took care of us until we were all in school. For as long as I can remember, I was just obsessed with the guitar. I loved music. When I was little, I used to go over to my grandmother's house. I used to hang out in my uncle's room. He had a stereo there with an 8-track player. And I must have been maybe 4 years old. And I was able to figure out how to put an 8-track in and hit the button and make music play. And I just remember that I would do that, and I would just lay on his bed, listen to music, and fall asleep.
I did have a lot of good times in my life. My mother and my father were both musical. My mom plays the piano. My father writes music. He plays guitar. He learned how to play the violin. I remember him learning, going up in the bedroom and just learning to play the violin hour after hour and getting it wrong and doing it again and doing it again. And he learned. My mother played piano in church, and she also played in my father's band. And so I was raised around music, and I loved music from, I think, since the day I was born.
That same uncle also had a guitar, which I discovered in my grandmother's attic one time. And I remember when I saw it, I just instantly fell in love, and I knew. I just knew I was a guitar player. My parents never seemed to get how interested in the guitar I was. I remember from an early age asking for a guitar, and they just thought, I guess they thought it was just a passing thing, or it was something I'd be interested in today and just forget about tomorrow. And they were just a typical middle-class family. They didn't have a lot of money. We had what we needed. We never starved. We always had a roof over our head and clothing and something to eat. But something like that was probably for them a big investment, and they weren't convinced I was 100% interested. So they kind of just passed that off, and I never really ended up getting a guitar right away. It wasn't until later that my older cousin had a guitar that an ex-boyfriend had given to her, and she played guitar a little as a hobby, and she gave this guitar to me. And from there, I convinced my parents at least enough to get me signed up for guitar lessons. And I guess after taking lessons for about a year, they realized that this was something I was truly interested in.
My dream was to become a singer. I really wanted to do that. I wanted to be in a band. I wanted to sing. I used to practice. My father had a microphone and speakers in the basement, and I would just practice songs for hours. I remember singing "Till Tuesday's Voices Carry" over and over and over and over, trying to sing better and better.
For as long as I can remember, I'm thinking like 5th grade on, I had one purpose in life, and that was to get a band together. I'd maybe been playing guitar a year and didn't really know any songs, but I was already in the pursuit trying to find other musicians to team up with and get a band together.
I remember when I was like 5, my mom had a keyboard, had an organ, and I would sit there and I would take 2 keys and I'd go back and forth and I would make up some little song to it. When I was in elementary school, I wrote my first song, and we recorded it on a cassette player. And I entered it in a contest, and I won it. And I think part of the reason I won it was probably because I was the only person that entered a song. And then I also won in the school district. So I got my picture in the paper, and I was so proud of that.
All throughout junior high, I was in a constant search for those musicians that I could get together with and form a band. And I was able to convince my best friend at the time to learn the bass guitar. We were able to hook up with a drummer and a keyboard player, and I finally had my first official band with all the important members.
When I was a teenager, I had a special book. It was a diary with a lock on it. And I wrote my songs in there. I wrote my music. I listened to music constantly. I always had the radio on. I always had something on that I loved.
They were decent musicians. None of them really had the commitment that I had. We practiced probably every Saturday. And after a while, I think they got sick of giving up their Saturdays. Shortly after, that band kind of broke up. And I had some tragedy in my family that kind of put my dream on hold for the next couple of years. When I was in 10th grade, I was again in pursuit of getting a band together. And I just happened to have a math class with a new kid. He was a new kid to my school. I was able to hook up with a bass player and another guitar player. And we ended up hooking up with a keyboard player, and through that keyboard player, we were able to find a drummer, and we got together with him, and he was another one of those people. I can remember he said to me that he eats, sleeps, and breathes music. And then he got so excited, and he was Italian, he kind of talked with his hands. I remember he kind of knocked his drink over and spilled it all over me. And at that moment, I knew he was the guy for us. Through some of these new people, we were kind of driving around one night, because we did a lot of that driving, and we would kind of talk about our dreams for the band, and we were still kind of in search of a vocalist.
Well, actually, from the time I was 13, I wanted to find my prince. I needed a man in my life. I didn't have the support of my father and the love of him, and I always just wanted to get married. As silly as that sounds, from the time I was 13. I got myself into a lot of situations I shouldn't have been in as the years went on, searching for my prince, my perfect person, the one that was meant to be with me. And that went on for so many years. So when I was a teenager, I wasn't allowed out very much. I sat in my room for hours and hours and just wrote music and dreamed and listened to music. And when I was a little older, when I was 16, I did get a car. Things started getting easier. Was allowed to be out. And when I was 17, I met Chris.
It was kind of funny the way it happens, and I'm not sure she even knows this story. But we saw this girl on the side of the road, and we drove past her, and I kind of looked, and I'm like, ooh, who's that? And the keyboard player at the time was like, oh, she's a singer. And I was like, well, we need to get her in the band. So I'm not sure how we contacted her, I guess through mutual friends. And she ended up auditioning for us. And that singer, that was Linda. That was my now wife.
No, I'll never get it right.
3:30 in the morning, and I'm just about to put down some tracks. If I don't get up early, it's really hard to get anything done. Early morning, late night's the only time it's really quiet in the house. Kids are asleep, dogs asleep, and it's just what I have to do in order to get anything done. In a couple hours, I'm gonna have to get ready and go to school, put on a different hat, and then I need to be a teacher for a couple hours. When I come home from school, have dinner with the kids, hopefully maybe I could get an hour or two. Linda and I will either practice, we might write together, or we'll do some more tracking. This is just what it takes in order to get anything done. Sadie. She's always trying to get my Lucky Charms. Honey. Good morning. Here's your coffee. Don't forget, you gotta pick up the kids today.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to try to record that vocal track tonight, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, don't fall back to sleep. I love you.
I love you too. Would you put this over there?
Yeah. Have a good day.
You too.
Don't fall back asleep.
Okay.
I think the hardest thing for me sometimes is remembering what hat I'm wearing. I wear a lot of different hats, like many people do. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a teacher, I'm a business owner, I'm a musician. And wearing all those hats isn't always easy, because a lot of times you have trouble transitioning from one job to the other, and it can be a little mentally straining at times. But you do what you have to do. In order to get the things done we need to get done without sacrificing the important things. I think a lot of times people will have a career, or they'll have a hobby or a goal or something, and sometimes they'll sacrifice the wrong things in order to pursue those things. And I think usually the thing that people sacrifice is their family, their time with their family. And it's so important, especially in the world today, for children to have that security, for you to spend that time, even from your own aspect. If you don't do it, you're going to look back at your life someday and realize that the things you sacrificed those things for really weren't as important, and you'll never get those years back. I know that with my son. He's older now. He's 12. My oldest son is 12. And at the time we were growing the business, and there were probably a lot of times I could have spent more time with him, and I'll never get that time back.
Mommy,
Yes.
can you help me pick out my clothes?
Can you pick out your own clothes today?
Okay.
Okay. Christopher.
Well,
It is like
Well, you have to get a shower. I told you to get a shower last night and you didn't.
so?
So you gotta go get a shower.
Oh.
Christopher. You got 5 minutes to get out of that bed, or you're losing your phone. You have to get up, Christopher.
Okay, well then
You have
5
a pile
minutes.
of homework here you have to organize too.
5 minutes.
Come on,
You
come
said
on.
5 minutes.
Christopher.
No, I don't care. Hey, I don't even need a shower.
You do need a shower. I don't care. You need a shower. Hello, Mother.
Good morning, daughter.
Milo, what do you want for breakfast? I want scrambled eggs and a chocolate milk. Me too. Scrambled eggs and
You want scrambled eggs? Are you gonna eat them?
yeah.
Promise?
I'm gonna play with it. He's gonna play with that. Watch it. Whoa. Scrambled eggs.
Oh, I will.
I almost got it.
10 minutes, Christopher.
No.
You lose your phone.
Oh.
I just use it for my salad.
I'll get you another one. Where did you get it?
No.
Christopher! Come on! Christopher, don't know me! You have to get up.
No, we're all leaving.
Christopher! Why don't you just cooperate? For one day.
Mommy, it's 8:48.
Well, whose fault is that? You have to get your... Okay, now I'm
Where's
not Christopher's pants. He's got no pants.
And your phone, Christopher.
We have 3 children, Christopher, Lila, and Julian. Christopher was the firstborn son, and well, he's
He's our handful.
a handful.
There was a space in between. Part of the reason that there was a space in between the first two was because we didn't know if we could handle another one.
So the space between him and Lila is a little bigger. There's 6 years between them.
Yes.
6 years between Christopher and Lila.
Christopher was our firstborn, and he's the light of my life. I love him so much. He is smart. He has a smile that will melt your heart, but he is a handful. And when I say a handful, I mean like 2 or 3. He loves technology, computers, and music, but not the same kind of music that we do.
He is a challenge in our life, but through the challenges that we experience with him, he makes us stronger people. And ultimately, he will end up a stronger person because of the challenges that he's faced with and he faces us with. Christopher.
Come on, Z. Come get a cookie.
Christopher, you need to get
I know!
up. It's almost 12 o'clock. You can't sleep all day. You need to get up.
I'm up! Stop it! Stop! If you don't stop, I'll practice! Stop! Stop!
She sent me all this. She's like, oh my god, stop starting drama.
Why do you have to start anything? Why can't
I didn't start anything. She was the one who kept spamming my post with no, and it's, I don't even know.
What do you mean spamming your post with no?
I don't know. She doesn't make any sense. She's
Problem
really
is here.
unfunny.
You guys, there's an old rule. If you don't have something nice to say, then don't say anything at all, because it never leads to anything good for you. Our daughter Lila is Daddy's little girl. She's my princess. She's the center of the family in the way that she is the most organized. She probably has it more together than any of us. Whenever there's something we can't find or we don't know what's going on, she usually knows where the car is parked, what we need in the grocery list. She's kind of on top of those.
She loves school and she makes us look good.
And she's just...
She loves music. She loves to sing. She loves piano. My mother gives her piano lessons. And she is a princess. And we call her princess every day. She thinks she is a princess and she'll never know any different.
She's the compliant child.
Yes.
Our first child, for as challenging as he is,
that's how easy she
that's
was.
how compliant. And I think God knew what he was doing when he gave us her, because he figured we needed an easy one the second time around.
Honey, I can't find any clean pants. Are these pants clean or dirty?
I don't know, honey.
Do these smell clean to you?
Julian, he was a bonus child. I always say that he was the best surprise we ever had. And he is an adventurous little guy.
Yes.
He's also very musical. From day one, from the day he was born, I told my wife, this kid is a drummer.
Yes.
And he is proving me right.
Yes.
I don't know if I spoke that into existence or if I just wanted it so badly that it happened, but he definitely has an interest. He's usually playing some kind of drum, usually banging on something, whether it's a tabletop or his lap.
Yes.
But
he's very agile and he uses his body well. He can hop, he can hang on refrigerator doors.
And it has caused him some problems because a couple times he has knocked some teeth out.
Yes.
But even with, how many teeth did he knock out? I think we're up to 3. But even being short a couple teeth for a little 5-year-old, he has the biggest smile in the world.
Ready, try it again. 1, ready? Okay, good. Keep it going.
Daddy, could I please have a chocolate milk?
Sure.
Yeah. That would not.
Here you go, honey.
Daddy, I want a chocolate milk, please.
Okay. Here you go, buddy.
This popcorn isn't salty enough.
Okay, honey. Alright, can I see what Alright, so the verse, you can just like play through how this goes.
I was born into the lion's den. I am living through the battle of the age. As I look into the eyes of love, the eyes of hate behind me still remain. But you I don't have anything there. But you protect.
Well, just sing it for me because I could get an idea from.
I was.
Do you need these so I could write the chords and stuff? I have that pen. All right. So the verse. Just sing through the verse.
I was born to the lion's den. That was good. What was that? Lion's den. I am living through the battle of the age.
Okay.
As I look. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So.
I was born into the lion's den. I am living through the battle of the age. As I look into the eyes of love, the eyes of hate behind me still remain. But you protect me.
Does it change there?
Yeah. It's like the second half of the verse or like a pre-chorus or something. But you protect me.
No. I don't know. I kind of. That's
You
what I'm hearing.
protect me. Yeah.
A minor.
But you protect me both day and night. And send your angels into my aid. And I know. Go back to the other part. Yeah. Know that you are very near. And faith. Yeah, one of those other chords that you had on the second part of the faith will cast out any fear. Yeah.
So basically, so.
Are you
far-
doing these chords?
Yeah.
I was born in
So it's basically.
Could you do something different?
Like what? That's what.
Something that sounds more dissident?
I mean, these are. That's the chord. I mean, that is the melody.
Yeah, but I kind of wanted to give it like a.
Give it what?
Happy but sad feeling.
So I need to use happy but sad chords, but these, like the melody you gave me, and this is.
But I don't think.
I'm telling you.
I think there's something else that we could do there.
It's. There's no other way. It's like, this is the melody. These are the chords that fit to that, and that's what you played me. I didn't change anything. I'm playing exactly what we played when you said this is what the song is. I wrote them down. It's G, D with
Alright,
I have
just wait a
a
minute.
shop
Just wait.
I'm telling you, this is.
I was born into the light.
Wait a minute, play that again.
If you're gonna laugh at me, I'm not gonna
I'm not
rap
laughing at
anymore.
you. You tell me to play a G, and you're playing a G.
That wasn't what we were just doing.
Wait, this is a G. I mean, that's like the first chord I learned on the guitar was a G. I'm pretty sure it might have been a C. But now you're playing. That's I don't
Isn't
even
that
know.
just what I?
That's a F. That's a G.
I was born into the lion.
We can move it down a step, but I think it's a basic chord progression. G, it's not anything, I mean, I don't know what else you want to do there. It works. Why do you want to make it more complicated than it has to be? If you want to go into the
I want to
dissonant...
do something different
Well,
that hasn't been done before.
Well, I can't invent... I mean, I could... what if I do this? Playing E minor there. That's dissonant in E minor.
Alright.
Okay, well that's what I was playing.
I have never seen a body like that. Which one do you like?
Honey, you have enough guitars.
You can never have too many guitars.
What's wrong?
I don't know. I'm just feeling a little guilty about today.
Why? What happened today?
What happened? Nothing happened. I sat around watching TV. I mean, I hung out with the kids, which, you know, I'm happy. I love being with the kids.
And me.
And you, of course. I just wish I got something a little productive done today. I didn't get, there's so much to do, and I sat around watching TV.
That's okay. It's Sunday. Even God rested on the 7th day.
Yeah, it's because he got everything done by the 6th day. Good night.